Welcome to Pocket Edition, everybody. Today we're talking about Nintendo Direct, what we did and what we didn't like. And today I'm joined by Sarah, Mark, and Alex. What's going on, guys?
I'm doing great.
Hi.
I wasn't sure what the order would be. Yeah, everything's good. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I'll take that from Mark.
The silence scared me.
Oh my goodness.
Fantastic. Alex, how are you, dude?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
This is your first appearance, I believe, outside of the Let's Play space for GameCast. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to have you on, dude. So, what have you been up to? I think, obviously, the Let's Play space has gone through a bit of a transformation of late. I believe you're putting together some form of hack or mod series for retro games. Do you want to maybe pitch us the gist of that before we jump into today's topic, being Mario's Nipples?
So yeah, I've been doing a segment called Game Changer. So it's basically just weird and awesome ways to play games. So I've been looking at texture packs, mods, hacks, probably glitches, somewhere down the line, maybe challenges. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Cool. That's really cool. So what are you covering first for Game Changer? What's the first title you're hitting us with?
I am doing a Mario 64 hack called Star Road. So it is pretty much a complete remapping of Mario 64. There's all new stages. The castle is totally different. All the dialogue and everything. And I think there's like more stars in it. So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So is that, I mean, not to like kind of give too much away on the episode, but is that kind of like something along the lines of adding additional content, or have they kind of remastered some stuff or improved upon the base game?
It's like an entirely different game. It's like a sequel almost. Like there's new models and everything. Like everything's different.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
There's new music and everything.
That's awesome. And I'm assuming in the episodes you'll have some information as to where we can find these fully legit legal hacks.
So the ROM hack will be in the description, but I'm not going to be putting a ROM in the description or an emulator or anything. I'm going to leave it up to the viewer to go find.
Yeah, please, please don't do that.
No, no, I know better.
Anyway, moving along. So we've just recently watched the Nintendo Direct. Not necessarily a regular watcher myself, but this one kind of took my interest slightly. You guys seem to be talking about it quite a bit, so I was like, why the hell not? Let's check it out. I'm glad I did, because Mario gets his shirt off, so that's always fun. But today I think we're basically just going to have a few takeaway and pullaways as to what we did and didn't like about the Direct. There was probably a few kind of big takeaways for me that I found very interesting. And in general, typical Nintendo style, there was a lot of fluff. So Sarah, probably being one of our larger Nintendo fangirls here, why don't you run us through the Direct a little bit? What did you like? What didn't you like? Give us the rundown. Let's go from there.
Okay, so I recently covered the Direct, sort of the bullet points of it on a news episode this week. They had 4 kind of key spotlights that they did, which was nice. And then a lot of, as you said, fluff in a stream of headlines for the 3DS and a stream of headlines for the Switch. Straight away, I kind of felt that the stream of headlines for the 3DS was very meh. It was like, guys, look, the 3DS is not dying, like everyone's been saying, oh, we're replacing the 3DS with the Switch. It's still alive. Look at these things that you already knew about and also are not that overly thrilling, but it's still there. It felt very forced, but there's not actually many things that you didn't already know about, and some of these are bizarre things that we didn't really need to mention. They wanted to create an equal length headline for the 3DS as they did for the Switch. And except for Pokemon, right at the beginning, nothing else was spotlighting the 3DS at all. It was kind of like, let's get the 3DS out the way, and now we're just going to talk about the Switch. Which didn't really inspire anything in me to think that the 3DS is still at the forefront of Nintendo's mind. I really don't think it is. And that 2DS was really ugly, just saying.
Which one, the Pokemon or the orange one?
The orange one. As an orange fan, it was hideous.
They did
so
it wrong.
Gross.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to differ kind of into Nintendo's business plan, but we know the Nintendo 3DS is winding down now. You know, Nintendo have a track record of saying, yeah, we're supporting it, you know, long into the future. That's our plan. You know, here's all these titles coming. And then all of a sudden it's like bang, like the head's on the chopping block. You know, we saw that recently, the mini Nintendo NES. You know, hey, we have every intention to continue production, yada, yada, yada. They said the same thing about the Wii U as well. And then a month later, bang, it's done. And I think that we're starting to see that translate into the software now as well. You know, that we really are on the tail end of the 3DS's life cycle. But back onto the titles that they did show for the 3DS, what did actually take my kind of attention that I've got bullet pointed at the top of my list is a little bit of nostalgia in Pokemon Silver and Gold. Now, this to me completely outshines Sun and Moon Ultra. Don't care. Just give me the Gold and Silver. I thought that was really cool, and that's coming. I think it's 22nd of September that one's hitting. So that one's up the top for me.
The only thing though, it's really cool that they're doing the sort of retro release of Gold and Silver, but I was a really big fan of the re-releases they did anyway of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So it's kind of, well, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of in that boat after I spoke to you and Count last week about, you know, which one should I pick up, guys, when we had that freaking 40-minute chat off air. And I actually spent a week on eBay trying to get myself a copy, and I couldn't get one. They just kept going for like, you know, 60, 70 Australian dollars, which is too much. That's the cost of a full retail price game here.
Are they releasing it for the Switch, or is it just for the DS? Presumably it's just for the DS.
I believe it's just the 3DS, yeah. That would be
It'd
cool,
be cool to
though.
have it on the Switch.
Oh my god.
Mark or Alex, did you guys have any kind of pullaways for the 3DS kind of section of the Nintendo Direct before we move on to the Switch?
Well, I thought that Minecraft on the 3DS sounded a little bit weird to me. I don't know what I think about that, but with the whole crossplay thing, I guess it doesn't seem so weird. Like, at least you can like play with other people. It's not just like I feel like it's not gonna be any more than like the Pocket Edition, which that's the podcast name. But
oh, don't do that. YouTube keeps tagging us as a Minecraft video already.
But yeah, I thought that was weird, but I forgot I like wrote some stuff down here. The Mario Party 100 minigames pack looks really awesome. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So do I. I dig that too. Another thing that kind of took my interest as well was Minecraft was one of those things. I don't know, I just kind of like the idea of taking Minecraft to bed, you know? I don't know if that's just me, but it's kind of one of those games you can just kind of sit back and relax with. But another one was Metroid, the Metroid re-release, which Mark frickin' bought today. So I think that looks really cool too. So I don't know if I'll pick it up. But anyway, so to move it along to the Switch segment of the Direct, we'll start with you again, Orange. What kind of took your interest there? What was lacking?
So we got some spotlights on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Octopath Traveler, and Mario Odyssey. I think they announced pre-show that Mario Odyssey was going to be discussed, so that was not surprising that was there, as their next big core title as well. Octopath Traveler looks amazing. I like the look of that. I love the sort of 2D, HD 2D, I think is what they described it. The graphic way. And also being like 8 different characters that you can play as, and they have different actions that they do to sort of influence the story. Like the warrior battles everyone, and the dancer allures everyone, because I love saying that word. Anyone who's watched that newscast will find, she did allure a lot. That was probably the biggest thing I took away from the Switch, was Octopath Traveler. But I was already interested in it. So I think kind of my annoyance was like, I already know about all of these things. I really wanted them to just kind of hint at something new, or even say more about some of the things they hinted at E3, like Metroid.
Yeah, like next year, right?
The Pokemon game for the Switch. But all of that was absent.
Typical Nintendo fashion, it's a constant, steady kind of drip feed. You know, just enough to keep your interest and keep you invested in the platform, like just. I mean, that's all they can afford to put out, right? I mean, like, they create a lot of these titles and software off the back of their own studios. Not so much the 3DS. The 3DS has a lot of third-party support, but at least the Switch at the moment is in that weird kind of transition phase between potentially rolling 3DS developers onto the Switch, or trying to, pony up developer support for the Switch. So it is a very weird transition phase. But I think, we're getting a little bit off topic again. I think the Switch is kind of exiting the woods, so to speak, in terms of that, they've almost gone through their first year. They've seen a lot of, ports come over, which actually Doom and Wolfenstein are hitting the system, that's pretty
amazing.
Cool. Like Doom, like on the Switch.
Traveling
like,
with
that's
Doom.
Awesome. Exactly. Like, that's the value proposition of the Switch right there. It's not necessarily going to be the most prettiest or the best graphically looking version, but being able to take it to bed, Doom, in bed, done. Well, take my money, Nintendo. But back to Octopath Traveler, that looks very interesting. Now, that's a game by Square Enix, I think, and they kind of pitched it as...
It's the team who did Bravely Default, if anyone played Bravely Default, which is still on my to-playlist because it looks glorious.
It looks like a pop-up book.
Yeah.
Or something very interesting like that.
Very nostalgic feeling in that sense as well.
Yes. So, yeah, they've really captured a very unique style with that, so I'm very interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, a pop-up book's actually a pretty good way to describe it because they released a demo for the Switch already. And as you move about the world, you see like some of the foreground and background start to blur or focus more. And it does like really feel like a pop-up book.
Oh, so cool.
And it's just such awesome lighting. It just makes the game look so good.
What about you, Alex? Did you pull anything away from the Switch? You own a Switch, right? So what did you take away from this?
I was disappointed to see that Skyrim was being released for the Switch. This thing's being released for like every game console ever, and just hearing Skyrim and Amiibo in the same context was very weird to me. Like, oh yeah, connect your Amiibos in Skyrim. I'm like,
seeing the Zelda outfits, the Link outfit.
Yeah, the Link Amiibo. Just link up to the system and you pull a freaking sword out of a chest in Skyrim. All right,
just like
sick.
seeing a great hench Nord dressed as Link just did not look right. It just looks so weird.
One of the lizard people would be awesome.
Yeah, no joke.
An
Well,
orc.
it looks like Bethesda's finally realized their vision of getting freaking Skyrim onto every system under the sun.
3DS.
Pocket Edition.
But to wrap it up, guys, did anything else take your interest with this direct, or was it kind of a bit of a hot and cold mixed bag, general tricks of the trade that come with Nintendo?
For me, I thought that it was pretty standard for a Nintendo Direct, especially seeing as TGS is next week. But it was like I wanted to know what the lineup was and release schedule for the rest of the year for the Switch. While it didn't surprise me, I was happy to finally have a firm date to know when I can get my hands on Xenoblade or Skyrim, which they've been hinting at since March and things like that.
Are you going to get it?
Yeah, totally.
I'm probably going to get it.
I'll tell you what, like, I almost might potentially get one just to play. Like, if we do start getting games like Doom on there, like, I might actually buy one.
I don't even have Doom, the new Doom. So
it's fantastic.
It could be something I use as an excuse to get a Switch. I'm still teetering. I was kind of hoping this Direct would just shove me over the edge and make me buy one, but it didn't quite get there. Octopath Traveler came close, and Mario Odyssey, as always, looks so much fun. Mario's nipples.
Oh, yes, please. That's not getting you over the edge.
I know,
Total
right?
game changer.
First time ever. I was actually quite excited
Game changer.
at the idea of dressing him as the Mario Paint version, because I really loved that game when I was younger, and I don't think it got enough love. So you can have him running around dressed as he does in Mario Paint, which is quite cool. Nice little shout out.
No, totally. All right, Alex, what's your wrap up on this?
Well, like you said, kind of hot and cold with what I saw for new titles for different announcements like the Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. But one glaring issue that I saw was no Animal Crossing for the Switch. I want a new Animal Crossing game. I was hoping for that.
Yeah, Nintendo fans always living in hope. I think I'm pretty much in the same boat as you guys, though. Like, I'm still on the fence about a Switch. I'm glad that it's doing well sales-wise and that it is getting more third-party support and we are seeing more ports. 100%. I own a 3DS. I know that's winding down, and I do actually want to, I want to carry on to that next system, but I'm still, like you said, sir, I'm waiting for that push.
That real
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild was
But
pretty
you
good.
can also get it
Fantastic.
on Wii U.
Shh, don't tell people that.
Can you bring the Wii U with you on you know,
I can take it to bed.
bus
It
or
does
something.
work.
Yeah, if you're not too far away from the
That's
system.
very true.
I'll just move the system. It's fine. No, I've always promised myself when the Switch came out that I would wait until there were 5 solid titles that I really wanted to play before I would buy it. And I think I'm on about 4 now, so I'm close. I was hoping the Direct would give me that 5th, and it didn't, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, I totally agree as well. Like, Breath of the Wild's an amazing game, but I don't buy systems for one game. You know, I need at least a handful. But for me, it's the lack of clarification of what the future holds. You know, what's coming next year. You know, just throw some bones, something to get excited about, you know, in a little bit of detail.
Yeah, we're getting scarily close, aren't we, to the end of 2017.
That's typical Nintendo style. So let's wrap it up. So thanks for joining me, guys. As always, guys, if you've liked any of us in particular, you can find all of our channel links down below in the description. You can also find them on the GameCast channel, where you will find a variety of gaming content in the form of news, reviews, podcasts, much like this, and other bits and pieces of content. Make sure you tune into Alex's Game Changer going up the next couple of days. That's probably going to be interesting at the very least. Until then, guys, have a good one.